You're so slow. Hurry up and make dinner. And clean up the rooms too.
My mother-in-law, Alice, looks like she's feeling perfect as she orders me. It's as if she seems to be so excited, able to order me around. And my husband, Kevin, looked at me as if it were completely normal that Alice wanted to make me her slave.
Wow, honey, your house is really cute and nice. And the fact that you actually help a lot too.
Oh, Mom, do feel free to use her. Hey, you, Mia. You better work hard.
My name is Mia. I'm a 32-year-old worker. I recently got married to a man named. I met my husband at a blind date, and as I can remember, my first impress is that he didn't really leave any impression to me. But when we moved to sit next to each other and talked little, we discovered that both of us had similar tastes and interests. We had so much in common, and we read the same music and movies. We had a great conversation about it there. We hit it off. We exchanged our contact information and began meeting up. And after going on several dates, 6 to go out, after 2 years of dating, we got married. I was at the height of my happiness in marrying the man I love. When we were dating, my husband was a true gentleman who took care of my health by coming over to cook for me while I was busy with work. So I believed that I would be able happy life with him even after greeting both of our families, our parents, having the wedding ceremony and honeymoon. We began living together as husband and wife. But after we started living together, I had discovered about Kevin's true nature. As soon as we got married, his attitude suddenly changed drastically.
Now that we're married, all the housework is your job. So do it well, Maya.
Huh? What's up with you all of a sudden?
I'm just saying the obvious, you know. Well, it's always been a rule that does the housework. And I grew up in that kind of family environment. So you two should follow my way.
What? No, wait. We both work, you know. In this day and age, it's much more share the house chores, right? I cannot be forced into having such an old-fashioned way of thinking.
I see, Mia. You're the type of person who is influenced by everything that follows a trend like that, huh?
Oh, no. That's not what I meant. What I'm trying to say is that it's not fair that I'm the only one who does all the housework and bears all the responsibilities. You would only work and not do any housework, but I have to do both work and housework, you know.
You keep arguing back to me, huh? If you can't do it, why don't you just be honest? Actually, you can't do that, so you're making these excuses, right? And that's why you're justifying your saying things like old-fashioned and right.
That's not true.
Oh, you don't have to be so stubborn about it. If you can't do something, just say can't do it.
Fine. If you say it like that, then it...
Is that right? So you will do it? Huh? That's a promise then. You better take responsibility for, say...
I got angry because he provoked me. Just you wait. I'm going to perfectly balance my the housework. Then I got myself together and worked on both the housework and my work. I even tried not to repeat the same menu as much as possible so that Mai would not complain about it. And my husband was impressed with me balancing out between my work and the chores, so he didn't complain.
I knew you could do it.
I was a little annoyed with myself for unknowingly being flattered by Kevin's praise like that.
I did my best here. So now, can you this time? Were you thinking that you won't do? It's not manly of you to let a woman down and then not get into the game yourself.
Excuse me?
My husband began to take the bait.
If you keep having that attitude with me, you're going to suffer.
Oh, how will I suffer? Please, show it to me. Why didn't you just try surprising her by doing the house chores and making it perfect?
Saying it like that, my husband will do all the house chores himself. But then things took an unexpected.
What the hell are you talking about? I don't do house chores.
What?
I told you last time that house chores are the wife's job, didn't I? Have you forgotten already? What an idiot.
Oh, of course I remember that. But aren't you frustrated that I said don't you want me to be surprised that I can actually do the house chores too?
Well, it's not what I'm supposed to. So, nope.
No way.
I thought that this strategy was, so I tried a different approach too. But then he began to say something unexpected.
I don't think your behavior is appropriate for a wife yet, so I'm asking my mom to help you.
Pardon me?
What do you mean you're going to be a mother to help me? Maybe we can live together.
Live together? I don't want to do that.
What are you talking about? I won't allow you to ever reject my like that.
But we've only been married for about 3 months, so I can't even think about living without her.
Sign with that kind of selfishness. Definitely need to be educated.
Kevin, you're the one being selfish. You don't even listen to my opinions properly and tries to decide every on your own.
You really don't understand, huh? Well, that's what marriage is all about. Everything what the husband says it, but in return he will take all the responsibility. I've seen my father do that, so that's how it's supposed to be done in this house.
My husband says such an unbelievable thing, but no matter how much I told him that I didn't like it, he wouldn't listen. Then, a few days later, my mother-in-law Alice.
I'm so sorry to bother you.
Oh, Mom, you're here.
It's been a while, Alice.
You are so dull that I didn't even your presence.
Alice suddenly speaks to me coldly.
Anyway, I heard that you're not doing your job as a wife properly.
I do my house chores properly. Kevin has never complained about it.
Oh, I can't have you being so arrogant that...
It's not like that, but...
Oh, well, I guess you can't really...
Saying that, Alice came into the house and brought in her huge luggage.
Are you really going to live with?
Oh, you're annoying. If you had behaved properly, this would have happened. If you want to hold a grudge against someone, make sure it's because of their incompetence and bad attitude. Well then, brew the coffee and prepare some snacks first.
Oh, and make sure to make mine too.
As soon as you finish serving the SC, prepare the dessert, clean the dining room as well. I would want to use the shower and restroom in a clean condition.
Alice and Kevin just ordered me to make coffee while they could relax. I wasn't really allowed to have cone them, and they made me do the housework, which relaxed me. It really annoyed me to hear Alice laughing while I was doing the house. It was my day off that day, so it was fine. But Alice bullying me and making me do all the house chores took its toll on me.
You're late.
Is there anything else you would like to know?
Clean the bathtub and then make sure to dry it thoroughly. The laundry is piling up, and clean the rooms.
And my husband, Kevin, looks at me as if it's completely normal that Alice wants to make me her slave.
Wow, honey, your house is really calm and nice.
Oh, Mom, do feel free to use her. Hey, you, Mia, you better work hard.
Two of them mocked me by saying such things. How did this happen? It's almost like a scam to have such a huge change in so after marriage. And even Alice has come to live with them without any permission. But what about John's husband? John, does she not have to do any house stage her home? I asked Alice about it before, but I don't need you to worry about that. Since then, I haven't been able to forget about it, so I decided to take the initiative and go to the house where Alice and John live. According to Alice and Kevin, Kevin was more of the boss of the house and felt that he was the most important person in the family, but I didn't see John as such a terrible person. Well, Kevin was kind before we got started, so that's not really helpful, but to avoid Alice and Kevin finding out we were going over, I lied by saying that I needed to go shopping for groceries and went to John's house on my day off. And when I pressed the doorbell, a woman who I've never seen or heard before answered the door. I was so startled that I froze.
Who are you?
The woman who I have never seen before looked a little surprised.
I'm Mia, and I'm John's daughter, Kevin.
When I say this, the woman replies, are the wife of my husband as son. Her husband. What did she mean by that? As I stood there even more, John C. door. Perhaps having heard the conversation between the woman and IE.
Oh, it's you, Mia. What's going on?
I came over to talk to you, Alice.
Oh, I see. Does this mean that maybe Kevin didn't talk to you, Maya, about this? Huh?
Yes, it seems so.
Then John let me into the house and talk as we sat down in the living.
That woman, Kevin's mother, and I have already separated.
What? Oh, really?
It seems like Alice and John had already divorced.
I'm so sorry for keeping it a secret or not telling you. The truth is that before you and Key married, we were already in the middle of a divorce settlement, but I couldn't really tell my son all the facts that his own parents were in the midst of a divorce settlement when he should have been enjoying life, being happy and getting married. I thought I would do my duty as a parent, at least until after his wedding.
I had no idea.
I thought that Kevin would have told me by now, but it seems like he hasn't yet.
Yes, this is the first time I heard about it.
My ex-wife and I got divorced because of an affair.
Huh?
The divorce didn't go very smoothly. Alice didn't want to pay alimony and reluctant to get a divorce. She is now paying the alimony monthly. Anything can happen at any time if Alice,
John talked about Alice with such disdain.
But I'll chase her down to the end's earth and make her pay for sure.
I was getting all kinds of information, and my brain was about to explode. I drank a cup of tea made by John's wife to calm myself down.
By the way, Mia, why did you come here? You said you wanted to talk to me about Alice.
Well, actually,
I decided to tell everything to John, and John was completely surprised to story.
Wait a minute. Even Kevin was in on it with Alice and telling you such terrible things. I really don't want to say this, but the boss of the house is not at all like, Alice was the one who didn't do any housework at all, and she stayed up late, and on top of that, she was having an affair. When I came home from work, I cooked and ate dinner by myself, did the laundry and cleaning all by myself.
that's completely the opposite of what Alice said.
Mia, you don't have to be their victim anymore. You should leave them immediately.
I thought John was right and decided Kevin and Alice. I was serious about our marriage and preoccupied with the fact that Kevin had been married for less than a year, that we had loved each other from the beginning. But because of that, I killed my true feelings. If I had to live with those two, any L would surely collapse mentally and physically. When I returned home, Kevin and Ali gone. When I messaged my husband to ask what had gone wrong, he replied, "I'm out with my mom today, so we do need dinner." In their minds, I was supposed to be a grocery store to prepare for dinner. They guessed that we went out to eat on purpose, harass me. Although the thought was annoying, actually better for me. I quickly packed only the necessary items and left my house, returning to mine. My parents were surprised to see me return so soon, but when I explained the situation, they were outraged at Alice Key. They then told me that I could stay as long as I wanted until I calmed down. Took their word for it. About 2 hours later, around 9:00, received a phone call from Kevin, but I didn't want to answer it, so the phone rang several times after I just ignored it. It was annoying me, so I turned off and went to sleep. The next morning, I left my parents and headed to work. When I turned on my phone at work, I found a tremendous number of calls and messages. Both Kevin and Alice were probably me for abandoning the house chores, being the maid because I had gone of the night and never returned. I spent the next 3 days with my parents, ignoring any calls or messages from my husband. Then, arrangements with my lawyer was 6, so decided to just look over at messages for now. I received many angry messages from my husband, such as, "Where are you?" and "Are you and Mom mad at me too?" Others said, "You're an unfit wife, a woman like you, and now I'm disgusted with you because you're so useless. Come quickly and do your chores and make me a good dinner." Then, noticing that I read all his, Kevin called me right away.
Yes?
Hey, stop joking around. Why aren't you coming back home?
I am sick and tired of being pushed, you two.
Shut the hell up. You better stop being so selfish or come back home. I've taken a dull woman like you as my wife, so you should take care of the house, you piece of work.
How could he say such a terrible thing?
Well then, a dull woman like me with a lousy, morally dishonest mother like yours. It means I'm divorcing you.
What? Divorce? What the hell are you saying?
I'm being serious. I've already layered up, so I'll fight until the end.
You hired a lawyer? Are you out mind?
Anyway, divorce is a must, and I'll take whatever I can get.
I said that and hung up the phone, or I think Kevin was saying something back, but I couldn't care less what saying. I then officially demanded a divorce husband through my lawyer. I also demanded alimony due to evil Alice's moral harassment, as I had many of the terrible things that Kevin and Alice to me up to this point. Kevin protested, but he could not G with it because I had proof. And as for Alice, not only did she sue John for defamation, after making a bad impression on his friends by spreading lies about him. So, in addition to the alimony for adultery, Alice had to pay the alimony defamation as well. According to what I heard, it seems Kevin actually knew that Alice, and in the middle of divorce settlement, that's why he took such a bossy attitude towards me, because he wanted to make sure that I actually listened to him and Alice. Since Kevin was a mama's boy, he was of sacrificing me in order to help. That's why he didn't let me quit even made me do all the housework. He was also planning to use the savings account we shared to pay for Alice's alimony. I'm so glad I divorced Kevin before he did that. By the ways, about Kevin and Alice, both of them owed alimony and had extreme poverty. And Alice has done very little housework up until now. So apparently, Kevin has 2 jobs to earn money for living expenses and alimony for the 2 of them, which is a lot of pressure on him.
I'm so exhausted. Please help me.
I received a message like this but I ignored it and gently blocked. Meanwhile, I am living modestly and making ends meet by renting an apartment. Recently, I've been saving up quite a bit of money, and I am considering investing it to further increase my assets. Thank you for watching until the end. Please subscribe to our channel. We hope to see you in our next video.